All right. Let me get my camera a little better centered here. Maybe right there. Well, how's everybody doing? Good to see everybody on Sunday night, May the 22nd, the 192nd edition of Speaking of Zane. Good to have you all here. We've got, let's see, Lori's in there, Lori and Everett. Hey, Everett. Granddaddy loves you. Hope you're feeling better. Daryl's in there. Ken's in there. Matt's in there. Aunt Mary's in there. Hello, Aunt Mary. All right. Got a good crowd coming in for this edition of Speaking of Zane. I've been away this weekend. I just got back about, hello, Aunt Cindy, over in Alabama. What time is it? 8:30. I got home about 4 o'clock, 3:30 or 4 o'clock, I guess. I've been home for a little bit. I got home. It's only about, I'll tell you where I was in a minute, but from where I was at, it's only about a 4-hour drive. And made it back home in time to mow the yard, mow the neighbor's yard, the house that burned. Got that mowed, got everything trimmed up and everything, and had plenty of time to get ready for Speaking of Zane. Jimbo's in there, Katie's in there, Steve's in there. Hope everybody is well. Well, let's see, where was I? So we got a couple of buddies of mine. We were kind of scheming on how we could get together, and one of the guys lives in about 30 minutes north of Knoxville, Tennessee, so about 4 hours from here. The other guy lives up in Kentucky in the Lexington area, I believe. He's about 4 hours away, 3 to 4 hours away. So we decided to meet at the guy in Knoxville's place, halfway between. And it's Ken Haberer's house. Some of you may remember him from Milton Hall. He only spent about 5 years in the Air Force, 5 or 6 years, but he flew on the Sincure Airborne Command Post with us at Milton Hall in the 83, 84, 85 time frame. And him and his wife live on Norris Lake, just north of Knoxville. And the other guy is Jerry Trimmer. Jerry Trimmer also flew with us over there at Milton Hall. He flew on the Glass, then he flew at Milton Hall, then he flew on the E4. And he ended up getting out probably before all of us got out on the early out. But anyway, Jerry drove down from Kentucky, and that Kentucky boy had not changed a bit. Anyway, so we met up at Ken's place yesterday, Saturday, about noon. And first time together for over 30 years. It's crazy how you can be apart that long and then get together, and it's like no time has passed. I'm going to drop that banner down. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, we had a good time. I don't think Ken and Jerry had seen each other for that entire time either. But anyway, Ken lives on Norris Lake and has a boat there. So we got out on the boat and went out on the lake for a bit. I just posted maybe an hour or so ago. I just posted something on. I just posted on Facebook on a bunch of the pictures and stuff, and I think you'll get a kick out of the short video clip that I took from the boat of Jerry and Ken. I'll let you guys discover that yourself, but incredible for 60-year-old men. But anyway, so we took the boat to a marina and had dinner, or had a late lunch, early dinner there, and listened to a little live music, and got back in the boat all the way back across the lake to try to get home before it got dark. Got back to Ken's house and got the boat all secured and buttoned up for the night, and got back to the house, and we spent the rest of the night just sitting out on the deck, telling lies and reminiscing, and very very therapeutic for sure. But enjoyed that immensely, and still got it back. We have an open invitation, Lori, to go back up there and spend some time with them on the lake and on the golf course. They're on the 10th hole, the first hole on the back nine there of the course they live on. But just had a really great time. All right, let's see. Let me check the comments here. All right, there's Ken. There's Toby. I don't know if one of them says they're going to Branson. One of them's not sure, and I can't remember which is which. But whoever's not sure, I think we still have time to convince them. So there's Brenda Lusk. All right, let's see. Ken, is that you? Yeah, after I did the yard, I needed a shower and I needed a shave, and got a little carried away on the chin. I wanted to see if getting rid of that gray made me look any younger. Since I was just hanging out with two 60-year-old men, and I was feeling kind of old. But anyway, tell me, should I grow it back? Probably. Anyway, thanks for noticing, Ken. All right, well, let's see. House fire update. Well, I just saw the neighbors. Mike and April were over this afternoon. They I had already cut their grass today. I weed eated and cut and blew and everything, and because I was doing mine anyway, and they're right next door. And they came and had brought their mower and tools and everything, and they were going to do it. And they ended up doing some things anyway. But I can take the chin, the mustache. Got to go. Okay, so get rid of the mustache too, Lori says. So get rid of the mustache and okay. We'll see. Let's see. So anyway, so yeah, so still no movement on the house on the redoing the inside, but let's see. Lori is still not here. Lori is still with the two new babies, who are Everett's little brother and sister, and evidently they're gaining weight. They're drinking from a bottle, and but they're still in the hospital. So. They're on a regimen where even the parents can only visit them like one a day. They try to keep the stimulation down so that the babies can fatten up. I think they're like 3 pounds or 4 pounds or something. But anyway, so Lori has stayed on out there to help them look after Everett, and so they won't have to worry about anything. And so that's admirable there. I miss her, but she'll be home this week and probably bring Everett with her. Weight loss, 42 pounds, 41 last week, 42 this week. So I'm having a little tough time at the 40, 42. I'm in this window now of about, I don't know, 3-4 weeks with just a 2-pound movement. But I'm committed to get to the 50-pound mark before my next trip to St. Louis, which is June the 20th. So 8 pounds to go in about, 4 or 5 weeks. All right. Well, let's see what else we got here. I know my Aunt Mary's on there. We talked about Uncle Jerry last week. Well, I lost a friend of mine this week down in Savannah. A friend of mine called Steve Jonas, and Steve was a friend of mine for the last 12 years or so, and really kind of a mentor to me in the amateur radio world. And unfortunately, Steve passed last week. And I did find out from his wife, Sue, that the funeral is June the 11th. It's in Savannah on June the 11th, which is a Saturday. So perhaps I'll run down there. But yep. Oh, Steve, man, he did a lot of good things on the earth. So rest in peace, Steve. And on a brighter note, congratulations to my cousin Harley. Harley graduates from high school this week or last week. This week or last week. I think it's Alexander High School. He's over in Douglasville, Georgia, not too far from here. So congratulations, Harley. He's the son of my cousin Cindy. who is the daughter of my Aunt Betty, who is the sister of my dad. There's your connection, and also the sister of Aunt Mary, who's on here tonight. All right, let's see. What do we got coming up? I'm going to talk about. When I get to the cemetery challenge section, I'm going to talk about some things I did out there this week. But this coming week, Saturday, May 28th, at Georgia National Cemetery, where Zane is, will be the official Memorial Day ceremony for Georgia National, and they have not had one for the last 2 years. So this will be the first one back open up and everything. So I'm looking forward to that on Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning. Let's see. And the hat of the week. Ken's already a little bit ahead on the hat of the week. The hat of the week, I usually wear a hat that has something to do with what's going on. And since I just met my buddies Ken and Jerry, and we flew together on this bad boy, and this hat is 30-some years old too. That is the hat of the week. That's the Sinkier Commander-in-Chief Europe Airborne Command Post, which is what we flew out of Mildenhall, just like Amy and Steve and Jimbo and all the others on here. But that is the hat of the week this week. It's kind of itchy too. I don't know if you guys, for those of you that had this hat, it had this lining in it, like a styrofoam lining in it. Well, that styrofoam lining decayed years and years ago, and it still got, and it turned into a fine powder. That fine powder now is finding its way into my nose and my eyes as it makes its way down. I'm gonna have to take the hat off here in a minute, but yeah, Steve is right. Silk Purse mission. That's the Silk Purse mission that we flew there. Steve and Amy and Jim and Jerry and Ken and all the rest. All right. Well, let's see. This week in military history, a couple of items this week. Last week I talked about the first American in space. Remember that? Well, on a related item. Oh, by the way, Jerry Trimmer, who I just mentioned, I saw this weekend. Jerry's a secret viewer of Speaking of Zane. He says he watches the recordings and sometimes listens in, but he's never piped in. But Jerry, if you're watching the recording of Speaking of Zane, man, it was great to see you after all these years. You have not changed one bit, and I look forward to the next time. All right, well, let's see. So this week is another space-related history item. On May the 16th of 1963, Air Force Major Gordon Cooper became the first American to orbit the Earth for longer than one day. And he did that for, well, the story is fascinating. I need to dig more into the story. Let me see if I can find, there's more to the story that I need to dig into, but there's a little teaser in the item. It's let me look it up for you here. Maybe you guys can go research it a little more. Maybe somebody knows a little more about it. But so this was Gordon Cooper, and he had a 34 plus hour flight. He made 22 orbits, a total of 546,167 miles. Now, here's a quote from Cooper. There were electrical problems. Can you imagine being in space? For one of the first people in space, you're in space for a day, and all of a sudden you've got electrical problems. Well, the electrical problems forced him to execute a manual entry, right? He says, here's his quote. He says, "I used my wristwatch for time my eyeballs out the window for attitude. Then I fired my retro rockets at the right time and landed right by the aircraft carrier. Can you imagine in space, wristwatch, hoping your time hack was good, and you got to be just right to get the angle and the location and all of that stuff. And man, those guys had brass, you know what's back then for sure. But that's one of the items. The other this week in military history item is, well, let me pause for a minute. Matt was surprised with an Army Achievement Medal today at guard duty. Well, congratulations, young man. Good job. Good job. Matt, for those that don't know, Matt served with Zane and they deployed to Iraq together. Matt continues to serve in the Michigan National Guard, where he was just awarded an Army Achievement Medal. Probably not the first one he's got for sure, but good job, buddy. All right. Speaking of Matt, on May the 23rd, this is an unfortunate item in military history, but on May the 23rd, 2007, Staff Sergeant Stephen Butcher and Specialist Daniel Cagle were killed in action in Iraq while the 369 of the 1st Brigade of the 3rd Infantry Division was deployed to Iraq. And in fact, here, let me grab something. Okay, I've showed you guys this before, but this is the KIA, or Killed in Action, bracelet honoring Daniel Cagle. And Zane used to wear this, and we're fortunate to have it, and I'll often wear it. And yeah, it just this reminds me of Zane, but through Zane, makes me every year aware of Cagle and Butcher, who were killed. All right, let's see. All right, well, good job there, Platoon Sergeant. Keep up the good work. All right, well, let's see. Veteran Cemetery Challenge. I think I got this right. I know Daryl made a visit this week to Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery. And Daryl, I'm wondering what your plans are for Memorial Day there. I don't remember when they do it. And then I went out, Lori and I both went out to Georgia National Cemetery. When was it, Lori? Thursday? Wednesday or Thursday. If you remember, I did this, we both did this last year. My face looks fatter without the hair for some reason. Well, I'll experiment. Carry the Load, the folks from Carry the Load. Well, doggone it, now I got to get up and get something else. Hang on a second. Okay, anyway, so yeah, so remember the folks from Carry the Load. They do for the month of May, they do bike ride and walk in honor of the fallen, whether they're military or first responders, and they have like 5 teams in buses. They have a West Coast, they have a Mountain, they have a Central, they have a East Coast, and there's one other, but one of the crews came through here this past week. And so I told Lori about it, and she needed to get some flowers out for Zane anyway. So she came from where she's staying with Everett and the babies, and drove up, and then I drove up from here at the house, and we met there, and they had a couple of funerals going on while we were there, and then the Carry the Load folks showed up about 10 minutes late, and so they got themselves situated and everything, and their whole thing is to raise awareness, bring awareness, and honor those that have fallen, and they take a lot of video clips stuff and challenge people. Who are you? Who are you carrying? The whole concept is you're carrying, like you're carrying a wounded comrade or something. And but anyway, it's just a fascinating organization. And there were, I mentioned we saw him last year. Well, there was one guy that was on the crew again from last year, and I remembered him, Ed Lujan. He's a retired Dallas police officer, and we got to meet him last year, and he told me a story, a fascinating story about him. Had an accident and almost didn't recover, and anyway, he's committed his life to this, and he has a phenomenal podcast too. I think I shared that in my post about him, but anyway, so Ed was there again, and I got to meet a couple of the others. If you read my post, you know that one of the guys named Colton was he's an EMT from the Dallas area, and he gave me a patch from his unit, and then he also gave me one of the official 2022 Carry the Load coins, like the one I got last year from Ed. Here. So I'm racking up the Carry the Load coins, but I gave each of them a Speaking of Zane coin as well. And then Ed, and then there was another guy. I couldn't pronounce his name. He says, "That's okay. Nobody can pronounce it. They just call me Easy." Well, he's a student at Georgia Southern, and we got to talking, and I said, "Okay, my daughter went to Southern and this and that," and I said, "Well, where are you from?" He says, "Oh, I'm down near this, that, and the other," and I said, "Oh, okay, I know where you're at. My folks live in Fitzgerald." He says, "That's where I'm from." He says, "That's my hometown," and I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." So anyway, we had a little bit of a chat, and he's just doing it over the summer. He's out of college for the summer, and he says, "I just wanted to be part of that," and traveling, spending 30 days traveling on that bus and visiting all these national cemeteries and stuff along the way. They started up in Vermont, made their way down, and when they left here, they went up to Chattanooga and then over to Nashville. I think they're in Nashville right now, but they'll finish up. Or no, they're in Huntsville, Nashville. Then they went down into Huntsville, Alabama. But they'll finish up on Memorial Day with a big celebration there in Dallas. So they do that for a whole month. Incredible. But yeah, so Ed also gave me a Dallas PD patch and a challenge coin, a Dallas Police Department challenge coin. And he's going to send me he's got some other stuff he wants to send me. So I wrote in my shipping address. So he's got some other things he's going to send me. They interviewed me too about Zane. I didn't tell you this, Lori, but they interviewed me and had me talk a little bit about Zane, and they got it all on video and everything. So that'll probably be on their website sometime. But Carry the Load is the name of the org. All right, let's see. Okay, Katie's already vowing to have some to thank some vets in this coming week. Let's see, what else did I miss here? See, Daryl says the Scouts will be placing flags there on the 29th, which is Sunday, and he'll be there on the 30th and place flags for family. Okay. It probably, Daryl, do they have a ceremony too? I know at Georgia National, they have a ceremony on Saturday anyway. I know some places do it on the actual Memorial Day. Let's see. Better. So that was Daryl, me, and Lori, and then today on the way back from Norris Lake, it's called. I stopped off. You have to go right by Knoxville. He's about 30 minutes north of Knoxville. So I don't remember ever going to Knoxville National Cemetery. It's kind of in town, but I did. I visited Knoxville National Cemetery today. I haven't posted the pictures, but I need to look at my map is what I need to do, because it looks strangely familiar to me. It looks a lot like the Chattanooga one. It's in concentric circles, and it's kind of downtown. But there's parts of it that I just don't remember. I'm gonna have to look at the map and see. Good problem when you visited so many, you don't remember exactly. So I'll have to look at the map, and if it's a new one, I'll post it as a new one on the map. But so if I add all those up, we had 4 visits this week. We're sitting at 620 visits to 155 different cemeteries. How about that? All right, and moving on to the Think a Bet Challenge. I think I got this right. I captured the ones I know about. I know that when Lori was out there, just like I did, when Lori was out at Georgia National this week, they had a big contingent of Patriot Guard riders there. They were doing the funeral services, and they were there for the Carry the Load. And Lori got a chance to say thank you to a Navy vet and an Army vet. And then I did the same. I thanked a Navy vet and an Army vet there that were Patriot Guard riders. I don't know if they were the same ones that Lori did. There was about a dozen of them out there. And then, of course, my buddy Ken, Jerry, who I just saw, and Ken's wife, turns out she's an Air Force vet, so got to thank her as well. And then, of course, Ed at Carry the Load. So we had a total of 8 thank yous this week. So our thank you count is at 1,465. 1,465 veterans that we've said, veterans or service members or first responders that we've said thank you to over the years. Remember when we were just getting to 1,000? How about that? We're almost 50% more than that now. It's crazy. But good work on that, everybody. Daryl says the Memorial Day ceremony will be on the 29th. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of strange, Daryl. They would do that on a Sunday during church, isn't it? But I guess it is what it is. All right. Well, Daryl, we'll look forward to hearing your account and seeing your photos from there. And then we'll do the same thing, share the Georgia National photos as well. Okay, well, let's see. If I slide on down to the organizations we just talked about, Carry the Load, I have them highlighted for this week. Incredible work they're doing. And also Running to Honor. We've got our 5K coming up at the end of July, and our buddy Aaron Bartle heads that up. Oh, by the way, go to Speaking of Zane today if you haven't yet. I shared a nice little message from him about every month on the 22nd of the month, he talks about the 22 that we lose to suicide or PTSD every month or every day, 22 a day. And on the 22nd of every month, he will do something, and it's often that he'll go to this intersection there in Michigan and raise awareness. And but he go watch his video, and he'll tell you why he didn't do that today. And he has a great message, about 7 minutes long, so not too bad. But appreciate you, Aaron. If you're out there, I know you watch. You sometime watch stealthily there, and appreciate partnering with you. All right. Well, before you know it, it'll be Reach Across America. in December. Boy, time goes fast for sure. But their motto this year is "Find a way to serve." Speaking of Aaron doing what he does with Running to Honor, and "Find a way to serve" is the motto. The motto this year. So you think I really want to shave the mustache, Lori? I don't know. I think if I hold my head just right, you can't see the fat. But I think the hair kind of hides my chubby cheeks. But anyway, we'll see. All right, folks. Well, we do have one last thing. One last thing in the heroes section. I just read this. I just added this less than an hour ago. We lost 2 soldiers in an automobile crash Friday the 13th, a week ago. And their names are Army Specialist Wen Linden Jacob Abanita, 22, of Yokosuka, Japan, and Private Valson David Tate Jr., 23, of New Orleans. They were killed in a car crash in Anchorage, Alaska on Friday the 13th of May. So rest in peace, soldiers, and we appreciate your service. Okay, Lori says, Guy, 39 years, I have never liked a mustache. And now you're just now telling me? Okay, I'll go shave the mustache. All right, folks. Well, hey, listen, join us back here. Oh, Jimbo, hey, listen. I've got your cards right here, buddy. I back the blue. There's a stack of them coming to you this week, Jim. So be on the lookout. Lori told me where they were at. She said, we checked my nightstand. I couldn't find them, and I had to poke around them. And eventually I came up with them. So I'm going to get those right out to you, Jim. Okay. Well, hey, join us next week for Speaking of Zane, and we'll be able to report on the Memorial Day, the respective Memorial Day services. If any of you attend any, certainly let us know about it. Go to the Speaking of Zane Facebook group. Tell us about it. Take some pictures or whatever. But we'll do that. And then I'm guessing we'll have Speaking of Zane on Sunday, since Memorial Day is Monday. We won't do it Monday because that's a holiday. So we'll do it regular on Monday. And we'll see. Look forward to seeing you guys then. Let me check the comments one more time before we shut her down. Okay, Jimbo, no problem. And you too, Ken. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend, everybody. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week for Speaking of Zane.